All right, there's that and that. There we go. What's going on, broski?
I'm eating a cookie.
Eating a cookie, huh?
Mm-hmm.
That's a good thing to eat. You know, I'm gonna have to change these.
Oh, your peepers.
Yeah, because if you notice, you got, because of those blue light lenses that I got in the new ones, you can see the full screen reflection there.
Well, yeah.
Because I see you and I see you and you. So
Well,
I like
you.
these glasses though. They're really nice.
Yeah.
It's a shame I should be wearing my contacts for this stuff anyway. See? No glare. Oh,
There's some glare.
Not near as bad.
Glare is there.
That's the key, is that it's not near as bad. But here we go. Let's kick this thing into high gear. Uh-oh. I just dropped all my stuff on the ground. I've lost track of my notepads. I'm all disorganized tonight. It's horrible.
Okay.
Oh.
Look at that. Holy jeebus.
Huh?
Oh man, nothing. Oh, that's a bald spot for days. Look at that thing.
Oh, that's nothing. There we go.
That gets the ladies, Mom.
Yeah, that's it.
Chicks dig the bald spot. It's a weird thing nowadays. I don't get it. Just kidding. I can hope.
But anyway, we'll go ahead and kick this off. Right. Thanks for joining us. Welcome. Karmic transmission number 49 tonight. 49 of them. We're getting so close to that 50 mark. It'll be here so quick. But with me tonight, I've got Rexy boy, the president, CEO, head cheese, mastermind, whatever you know. He's the guy that wears the big hat. You know, that's this guy right here.
Big head.
My brother. Well,
needs a big hat
for a big head.
Yeah.
As always, you can best place to find out what we're about, what we're doing is on our website. Check it out, karmaincarnate.com. You can always follow us on all the social medias: Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, Instagram. I'm sure. Hey, knock that off. Cat. You can find us on all the social medias at the Karmic feed on Twitter is where you're going to find us there, or Karma Incarnate. But as always, guys, best thing, if you ever have questions, reach on out to us. Shoot us an email. Send us any questions. We're always happy to talk about what we're doing and how we're trying to end hunger in our own special little way and hopefully change the world while we do it, right?
Exactly.
So, but how you been there, Rexy boy? It's another fun-filled Monday night for Karmic Transmission.
It sure is, Jakey. I'm doing pretty good.
Yeah, how's your shoulder feeling after? I know you were kind of sore this morning, pushing it up there at the swimming.
Oh, it's doing okay. It's a little tender, but it's doing all right. I'll get over it. So just, you know.
We're running opposites again. Your right shoulder and it's my left shoulder, you know.
Yeah. But by our powers combined, you know, we make one screwed up shoulder blade system.
It's true. There's one big shoulder between us.
Yeah. So if only we could do it. But yeah, it's been pretty good getting up early, going to the gym with you, Jackie boy. It's been helping out a lot, I think, in a lot of ways. So yeah, just in getting up and moving around, it's nice to do, you know. Doesn't help with these things apparently. Look at those guys. Good Lord. Look like lurch.
Not really. You don't have the structure for it.
I'm telling you.
Oh, that's right. I'm used to having all the karma pictures around. I was going to say the real one is the Frankenstein picture. That's the one where it's like, nailed it.
Yeah. So, but yeah, how about you, Jackie? How have things been going on your end?
Things have been going good, man. Everything's just plugging along. It's kind of interesting to hear with everything opening up and all the mandates shutting down. I'm getting more excited to start getting us doing things again. Feels like it's time to start moving, which means it's just that a new energy, you know, and that's what I've been feeling is it's just time to start capitalizing on that and moving with it. But it's been good, man. Things are moving and shaking all the way around with phone calls to partners in crime with our software people and stuff like that. That's what I was looking for. So it's different, you know, like I said, it's just a different energy, and it's kind of fun because the exercising plays into it, I think, you know. Hang on, take this cat in the ass. Go on, get out of here, you. Go on. Get out of here.
The cat rustler.
There we go.
There he is.
Did he make it all the way up there?
Oh, not yet. No.
Oh.
Have to keep herding them kitties.
Oh, I'm sure he'll be up there before too long.
So, but yeah, Jakey boy, I know what you mean. You can, the energy is very palpable. It's always not, you know, it's weird times. Strange things are going on all over the world. We're moving into a series of chaos, but that's how, you know, energy moves. There's the cat right there, just like that, chaos. But you know, that's and through that, that's what has generated existence through the cosmos, is, you know, calculated chaos, and it's an interesting time because it opens up a lot of different energy and potential to grow and be better and do things in a different way. Because if there wasn't a better time for karma than right now, with all the crap going on in this crazy world, I don't know when will be a better time, you know, for people to start trying to stop investing in outdated systems and trying to find ways to generate wealth out of, you know, the same things that we've always done, human production. And it's time to think about it in a different way and start moving from a consumer-based economy to a production-based economy, where you earn an income and a living by producing and making more cosmic energy and political, or that's not a good word for it. Political is not a good word at all. It's economic energy. That's the word I was looking for. And it you know, just generate that in new and creative ways by, you know, giving things away, generating more of it. The more you can produce, the more you can give away, the more you'll be rewarded for it. So sounds a little like karma.
No, absolutely. When energy is in fluctuation like that, the best thing to do is work with it. And apparently it wants to move. And that's in a lot of ways to look at it. The nature of our economic system has always been, like you said, it's been a consumer-based system, but you're always told, save your money, hoard it, put it somewhere. But everybody knows that in order for the economics to move, the money has to move. So the idea of hoarding but spending is it doesn't work, you know. And we need to start resetting our brain to work with both mentalities, you know, the karma way of, no, you move the money and you move with it, and therefore we all get better together, you know. So because you're absolutely right, man. It's weird that confined, you said, it's there, it feels like it's had a big cap on it for so long, and everything's ready to just move. Everything's ready to go again. And now that, like, it's exactly what we need.
Yeah, well, it's just this very technology that we're using right now. It's so new and so different, and for all the good that it has its bad that comes with it. And one of the things that we're learning with the ability to use this kind of technology and stuff is that the old systems that have been tried and true forever sometimes need a little bit of tweaking, you know. And that's what evolution is. It's not throwing the baby out with the bathwater. It's finding a new way to wash the baby in a more productive, better way, so that it's healthier and better and can grow and move into something new. So we need to do that with our economic systems. We need to do that with our, you know, dare I say, political systems, religious systems, any kind of system that we've been moving throughout this universe with has become in some way outdated, just in the simple fact of the sheer lack of forethought and foresight of what technology could create. You know, these systems could have no idea the wonders that we're dealing with right now. You know, when these things were made and generated, most of them in the 16th, 17th, and 18th centuries, you know, we're now in the 21st. They had no idea that we could be sitting in separate rooms on the internet talking to each other. You know, no idea. And let alone the fact that, everywhere else that we can fathom and think of, that we can have interactive, you know, dialogues with, we found ways to just eliminate time and space almost. It's crazy.
Exactly. There is no limitation to what you can find out at any given time. I mean, if you want to know what's happening in Syria at 1 a.m., you can find out. You know, And that literally, that one thing right there, it like I said, it wreaks havoc with every system that we've ever established, because all systems are used to having a delay.
Yeah.
Something rolls out and it takes time to see it applied, and then there it is. And you know, in true fashion, good systems are meant to be a little bit slower because they address multiple concerns. Because it's kind of like, you know, the amazing thing about karma is it's a system that delivers every month, right? If we tried to do more than that, I don't think it could work. If we tried to do multiple delivers every month, or I don't think it would be able to work, because you would you wouldn't be able to keep track of it as quickly as you might think,
Oh,
so,
I'm sure.
so I think some things need to have that established, but to have that instantaneous feedback loop, it does weird things to people psychologically, and it really changes the way that they interact. So
Definitely. And we're all, now, whether we like it or not, a product of part of that interaction, and like you say, just the mental differences that it creates throughout the generations is just unfathomable, let alone the actual physical technical part that goes into it. It's amazing what Amazon can do, but it's ruined the trucking industry. So
yeah.
Just because the simple fact that everybody can order something and it's there in 3 days, 2 days, 1 day, same day delivery, it's crazy. So just like this last weekend, we had a great big snowstorm go across Wyoming and stopped a bunch of our trucks. And so, but everything's like a day late. And you would think that we shot the family dog. Everybody's losing their mind. And it's just like, yeah, that's it's built this kind of almost false reality that's so fragile, but so special that everybody cherishes it, doesn't want it to be harmed in any way. And that's one of the things that I like about what we get to do, is that it's I have no question or qualm with admitting that everything that we can do in this business has happened because of great ideas and thinkers and people that have come before and built and generated this technological wonderland that we just happen to get to live in.
Yeah.
And it would be a shame for us to not take advantage of that technical wonderland and generate and create something that we've all dreamed and thought only could exist in fairy tales and fables. And that's people that actually invest in people and try to generate and create a better and greater society as what we call humankind, because there's no guarantee it's going to be here forever. People forget that, we're a species on this planet just like everything else, and they go extinct all the time. Yeah. And it's rare, it's special, it's a good thing that we shouldn't take advantage of and we shouldn't take for granted. And so that's why it's got to be natural, it's got to be karma, it's got to be something that's as natural and as organic as we are. And that's one of the things, that's why we can say it's our idea, is because it's grown out of us. You do good and good things happen to you. The more you give, the more you get. That's good karma, that's bad karma. It's everybody knows the do unto others what you want done unto you, the golden rule, whatever the hell you want to call it. We all know what's generating this cosmic and universal experience. And so don't mess with that. That would be quite foolish, because it's literally the power of the universe trying to harness it and put it into generating creative and new ideas that we as human beings can understand and function around and try to then participate with to generate and create a new outcome. So yeah. I hope that sounds as good as it sounded in my head.
No, oddly enough, the thing that popped into my head was Masters of the Universe. Because you're absolutely right in that it's what we're talking about and what everybody has been touching on. And you think about it as a kid, it's with you your entire life, is that touch of that, and that cosmic energy. Like I said, it's just, if there is anything, and call it Star Warsy with the Force and all that stuff, but there's obviously an energy that connects everything that moves. And the one thing that, no matter how hard you want to try, if you think you can control it, you're insane. You're absolutely insane. That's
well, and you're it. Why would you try to control yourself? You try to know yourself, you try to learn from it, but
I can't
you try to control
candy in the kitchen, and I think I have the ability to no, it's all about working with it and knowing it and going with it.
Yeah.
And it's insane. But that's what popped in my head, is Masters of the Universe when you said it, because it's like, oh, that's what you're doing. How do you become master of the universe? You master yourself.
You remember on that show, what was that little organ thing that the guy played?
The key.
Oh, the key.
Yeah. Yeah, the grill door played.
Grill door. Oh my good God.
Yeah.
Dolph Lundgren, you're quite the fellow.
They figured it out then. It works together. You got to have the key and the music, and cosmic harmony is the end game. That it's the idea.
it's
Great movie. Great.
Perspectives and levels, and you can't, once you know that it's you can't, it doesn't make any sense to fight with it. And to control it's funny, because you can't even control yourself most times. You get too excited and things happen and you change and you get upset and you lose control. So why would you try to control the cosmos if you can't even control?
Well, if you think you can,
that's why it's the whole idea of it is just give it up. Stop trying to control it. Just let nature do its thing. Seems to have worked this far.
Well, the whole thing, don't play rock, paper, scissors with yourself. And how easily can you dupe yourself? It's like, you can't,
Give me a shot. So,
uh,
yeah, that's one thing. I tried to play chess against myself. That's weird.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah, you have to sit there and go, okay, if it wasn't me playing, maybe I'd make a move. Like, the whole thing is just silly.
It got to the point that I would make one move a day and then move a coin, so I'd just know whose turn it was. And the whole idea of that was to try to make it so I'd forget the strategy that I was thinking the day before for the other player, and just try to read the board and play. Didn't work. Because all you end up doing all day long is thinking about what counter move you're going to make to the counter move, if it's the guy's other counter move of the counter move. It's just awful. You can't, it's no payout. So
doesn't get you anywhere.
No, it's a rough game. So I don't recommend that one.
But I recommend knowing the game and finding another player. That's when it gets interesting.
Yeah, well, like those, remember people used to write letters and play that way. That would take so damn long. Now they play online in like super speed stuff. It's weird. Life's crazy.
Well, that's the thing, is half the game is the patience. That's something that everybody, like you said, this Amazon 2-day delivery, it didn't just ruin the trucking industry. It's literally distorted people's expectations of what's actually humanly possible. Because the only way that Amazon makes same-day deliveries is they treat people like robots. They're not people. And that's not good. That's not a good thing. That expectation, and like you said, it's fragile. Anything.
That's the part that's
shake it and falter it, and that's where it's about, keeping in mind that good level of expectation and knowing that things can be fallible. It's like when the Japanese apologized for having that train leave the station like 0.4 of a minute early. You know what I mean? And it's like, dude, that is beyond insanity.
Yeah, it was 20 seconds early it left.
It was insane. And it's just like, are you kidding me? But we can't let our Amazon delivery be a day late because of a massive snowstorm that stopped all traffic. Oh no. Like, come on. Like, what happened to being human? And allow.
Well, it's just be happy that it's so that's
exactly.
that's what you can complain about. Like, oh man,
Hmm.
Amazon was late. It's like, look at what's going on the other side of the world right now.
No kidding.
It's just it's quickly it's very quick to bring you back to reality of the fragileness of it all. That's the thing, is that it's when you look into the telescope, you see chaos and then order, and it's a you can't the mix never seems to go away. It's always that there's a mix of the two. And so yeah, it's just it's weird. It's hard because you want to try to find ways to think to make it not be so one-sided or heavy-handed, and the more you try to mix with it, it just gets it more and more out of balance. And that's how come it has to be systems that are not forced in any way, shape, or form, just like nature. That's how come business, or this business of Karma Incarnate, is in the business sector, is because that's called the free market, and it can allow for people to make decisions and choices, and there's nothing that forces you to do these things. It's a general idea that we hope people want to try to help duplicate and grow, because that's where power comes. That's where things start to change, is when you multiply them
with willful participation.
Yeah, and so when you multiply an idea, when you take something that's so basic to us all as, if I do good things, then I should, good things come my way, this karmic idea, and put it towards an economic system that you hope that you can get an outcome that's going to be more natural and more congruent with the way that people and things should move. Because if you don't, then it'll just end up crumbling in the long run. It doesn't seem to stick. So, and that's what's good about this free market system, is that it allows for the chaos and the structure. We spend all day long working on structure and trying, you're putting in all this time building back offices and putting functions together and making it so that these things will try to click and move in a certain way. And at the same time, all that work goes for naught, because people have the choice whether or not they want to participate. So there's the chaos right with all the order. And it doesn't matter how the mix goes, you need both of them. And that's how come we do things like this, like these karmic transmissions and briefs and DDKs and all these other things, is to try to show that we're just people trying to generate and multiply an idea. And that idea isn't ours as far as a company goes, it's ours as far as society goes and human beings go. And so, we hope that we can convince you that it's worth trying, it's worth putting a little bit of time and energy and money towards, because those seem to be the things that we as human beings value: time, money, and energy. And so, we hope to win you over with what you already know in your heart, just expressing it to you in whatever form we can get there. Because the structure, that's just nuts and bolts and mechanics, but the why, the reason for trying to be better people and try to change and think of new ways to build businesses, as a man that's going to be turning 35 in 2 days can tell you, life's too short to not try to do something amazing with it. So, I hope that doesn't sound as desperate as it does in my ears, but it's not a desperate act. It's a plea for waking up and getting back to what we already know. It's that, because whether or not it happens in our lifetime doesn't matter. The function's started, and because of that, just like karma dictates, things are going to follow. Actions create reactions, and we've started something here. We've generated something. We've started trying to create new ideas and think of things in different ways, and the reaction of that, I hope, is at least worth our time. And worth your time.
Absolutely. And there's no doubt in my mind, at least, when it comes to what we've done and what people continue to do, it's absolutely worth somebody's time. And you know, it's funny you talk about we value time, energy, and money, and yet we always kind of exchange a couple of those things. You know, energy is that thing that we have, and we're either exchanging time for money or money for time. But in
Yeah.
the end, it's all our energy that fuels it, right? And so the the number one thing right there is kind of like you were saying, man, that it's oh geez, and my brain literally just kind of went and
Yeah.
it lost it. But it's always worth your energy to spread a good idea, you know, no matter what it is. And in the end, it doesn't take much, right? You know, that's the one thing that's so amazing about the way that human beings interact, is it doesn't take a lot to spread an idea. It doesn't take
Yeah.
much to throw something out there and have it just start sticking and running. And we see it in all kinds of different media. But the one place that it's always had a hard time, like you said, is business. And that's just because people have always, I think that they've always lost that gut feeling in the end. That part that ends up disconnecting them, going, this is me, that's them, and we're not really working at this together. I'm a, a, a consumer. You know what I mean? They're the manufacturer, the producer, I'm the consumer. These are where the lines are drawn, and the interaction is always such. And that's why you say it, nothing in what you said came across as a plea or anything like that. It's like you said, it's do something, you know, because it has nothing to do with anything else other than somebody like you said, it, shit, life's too short. Life's too short, and it's time for us to do something. The best thing that we could do is something that works out for all of us, right? So
Yeah.
yeah, and that's where when it comes down to time, energy, and money, there's nothing better than something that works for everybody, you know.
Yeah. Well, it's good. It's a good thing to know that the most valuable resource in the universe that we know of is human potential and energy. And people will trade you that time and money for your energy and your power and the potential that you have. So that's, that's the biggest myth that they've created, is that their money or their time is more valuable than your energy, your economic output, as a lot of businessmen would like to call it. And that's how come, for the most minuscule amount of output, we want to give back some form of, monetary value, so that way it can generate more time for you to do more energy and just keep the cycle going. Makes it cyclical blur. That's not how you say that word, but it's close. And that's what we try to do in karma, symbiotic, work as a whole system. And that's what we're going to do with this type of business here, is that it's very forward thinking, very different in the fact that it's so basic and so old in its basic idea. It's just putting it towards the, having the technology and the ability to actually count and keep the chickens in line and make sure that it all adds up, so that we can reward people correctly for what they've done. Because that's one of the biggest problems people have had with business, is disproportionate benefit for output, and I would be the first person to argue that the amount of energy and the different ways in which people can put that towards building and creating a business or something that will generate wealth, i.e. jobs, and make what we call an economic system, is so complex that to be able to determine who earns exactly how much for what action is very, very hard to do. But that's how come at Karma we make it, an even percentage point all the way across the board. There are no levels that you have to attain to get your wealth or do anything that way. It's just we're going to pay everybody the exact same for the exact amount for as much as you can do. And so try to eliminate those silly little limitations that we didn't know, because it's it's hard. It's a hard thing to do and figure out, but it's generated so much wealth and diversity and creativity, and just the fact that I'm sitting here looking at you on a little screen and can see your room in the background, the Star Wars posters and all. It's like, what the heck? This is magic. It's a crystal ball. It blows my mind. So yeah, I am very honored to be a part of the system that's generated this stuff, but looking forward to being a part of the system that's going to take this stuff into the future and create a world that is more focused back on the actual energy source, like we were talking about, people.
Yeah.
You know, that's very important. So
Absolutely.
yeah, it's manipulators, cosmic manipulators that we can use with the power of our voice and ideas to try to manipulate more of the cosmos and the universe. It's amazing. You know, it's crazy what human beings are. So don't waste that.
Not at all.
Yeah.
Bingo. Don't waste it. That sums it all up right there, man.
Well, I hope so, because it's very odd. You know, it makes me sound like an alien and weird, but I like to talk about that stuff because it's all so different and so weird. But that's the point, is that it's what more are we than that? Parts of this universe that can manipulate time and space in front of them. And then because we've now gained the ability to converse with each other, we can spread ideas and generate more manipulation of the same thing that we call a shared universe, and generate and create stuff. It's weird.
Mhm.
It's the universe, you know, making many hands, lots of eyes, and different ways to talk about ways to generate and make itself look back at itself and go, holy crap, that's amazing. So gets me excited because it's very, very humbling, but also very, you know, bold and empowering to think about the fact that you're the entire focus of the cosmos in the singular spot that we call Jake or Rex. You know, it's very weird, but yeah, why wouldn't we want to play with that? So
see what it can do. And
Yeah,
that's
what the hell?
the big part of it. And that's where it's, you know, you are the influencer every step of the way. So
And what do you make money doing these days?
influencing.
Influencing. That's how come we pay people in Karma Incarnate for getting you involved in a business like this, is because influence makes big bucks. And that's the society we're going to move into. So we're going to use people's influence to do things like feed people and generate wealth at the same time, so that instead of just trying to take on a thing called poverty or a thing called hunger, you make them fight each other, and then we come in at the end when they're tired and just push them over. That's what you do. They're too big of problems to handle by themselves, so you make them fight each other. So yeah, and the more you can help us influence that idea and spread that idea, you know, we want to make you rich doing it, because that'll lead to more influence, more positivity, more of that same fist fight going down, and make the job easier. It's just, I don't know why it seems so simple to me. What do I get? Maybe it's because that's what I've been obsessed with for the last decade of my life. But
no, it was the power of recognizing influence before being influencers was a thing. That's what's crazy, you know.
well, all the greats in history have known that, and that's how come they're the greats. So, you know, only difference between people like that and people like you in the audience, people like me, is that they decided to do it. So, you know, that's what it takes, is the courage and the willingness to do something amazing. And in today's day and age, to do something amazing can be as little as $50 a month, you know, to feed hungry people and try to change and generate businesses. It's a crazy world we're living in. So yeah, but
it can be as easy as $10 a month just feeding people.
Yeah, but never poo-poo a nickel, Lisa. So it all helps. It's all in the consistency part is the biggest key. You know, it's one of the parts that I love the most about business is everybody's gotten very used to having a Netflix membership that is consistently billed every single month. The idea of paying for something like that as a service isn't odd anymore. And you know, that's what we're offering too, is it's the same thing, $50 a month to feed hungry people. That's a service that you pay for, and it makes it so that you always know that you're always giving every single time and investing in humanity and trying to make it a better place for people to exist in. Because the easiest way to know that you're not going to starve to death is if you feed others, because then that means that you've had enough that you can actually then produce and give away. It's that production-based economy that we're talking about. So it's yeah, it's stuff we've all been talking about forever. It's just that's what blows my mind. It's whenever you get reading into any of these history books or any of this other stuff, it's we've known this forever. It's just, how do you implement it? How do you get it going? Well, I say with technology like this, the very thing that can lock down the world and, you know, facial identify and make sure that you're always doing what you're supposed to be doing, can also be the very thing that liberates and makes sure that everybody's doing things that they should be doing, which is investing in humanity, trying to make people better, trying to look into the other set of eyes, just right one screen away from you or sitting right next to you, and understanding that it's the same. You know, it's just a different name for a different piece of the same puzzle. So get over it and let's start focusing on what it takes to, you know, move into the 22nd, 23rd, and 24th century, because that'll be crazy. But yeah. So, well, Jakey.
22nd century, yeah. Those are the kind of things that it's not even our cartoons and stuff got that far ahead, you know.
Oh, not most of them. Yeah, I don't even, they always talked about like in the year 2020 something.
The only one that I can think of is Futurama.
3000. Yep. Yeah.
And that would be what, the 30th century, 31st century.
Yeah, the 30th and 31st. But you know, it's just it's a crazy deal. So but Jakey boy, have you heard me ramble enough and talk about crazy stuff enough?
Have you talked about enough crazy stuff?
I could talk about
all
crazy
been
all day
good,
long.
Rex boy. Huh?
I could talk crazy all day long, Jakey.
Well, I know you could.
Yeah. But that's
no. This has been really good. It's gotten to touch on a lot of different stuff, and we don't need to keep it long. You know, that's the thing, is when it's
well,
I'm a little different. Pooped. Yeah, it's a little bit different when it's just the two of us on a Monday night, especially with these new routines. So no, man, I think this has been a good one. I think it's got lots of good stuff in it.
Yeah, I like that we I love the fact that I'm getting to talk a little bit about things that people would generally think I won't talk about, because, you know, karma is on my mind all the time, but that's because it's all the same stuff. So I love talking about, you know, crazy old history and, you know, what I think the future might hold and all these things, because they all relate to each other, because it's all the same thing. You know, it's a happening, and the more I get to talk about how crazy and how different the happening is, the happier it makes me, because I think that's pretty much what we're here to do. You know, the philosophers of old and all that stuff, it's just talking. The fact that that the universe is moved and generated and created to the point that we're here to talk about it is just mind-blowing. And that's this business in a nutshell, is we want to talk about that stuff and use the fact that we're all the same to start generating something different, because it wouldn't happen if it didn't want it to happen. I'm a product of the very thing that I'm looking to help manipulate and try to change. So is it the chicken or the egg? And the answer, it doesn't matter, because it's the happening. Fronts and backs don't exist without each other. Chickens and eggs don't exist without each other. Karma and business doesn't exist without each other. They just tried to make them mutually separate and say that they're, you know, the front's more important than the back. but we're coming to that age, like you're saying, that new energy of realizing that no, that takes both to make a complete whole system. And so, we're going to start bringing ideas of economics and being, what some people would consider spiritual in some ways, because it's always talking karma and, the payment systems and generating different cosmic outputs. But it's because it's all the same. And so that energy is going to bring it all right back to center and help us focus on what we already know we need to do, which is generate and create a better future than what we call the past, because both of them don't exist. It's all now. So you need to start now. You need to find things that you can interact with now and start making changes in your life now, because none of the others are guaranteed. And that's power, and it gives us that sense of urgency and desire to create and generate something special. And that's what I'm going to say right there.
There it is.
And the karma thing. Hopefully that's good. I like to talk about weird stuff, Jakie. Plus this beard, look at this.
Mm-hmm.
Doesn't that look pretty gnarly?
No, you got a haircut and stuff the other day. You look good. I'm looking grizzly. I
know.
Can't hardly eat, and
It's still
swimming's been drowning me. So
there you go. Well, I think you look good, Jakie boy. So, but
always said it's the face made for radio and the voice made for print, Rexy boy. That's the catch.
But you're a man for my heart. So
can't help that one. But
yeah.
I think that's a good spot to call it there, Rexy boy. That was a fun one, and you're absolutely right. We just got to get you more people to talk big ideas with, because it always just gets bigger the more people you involve,
Yeah.
So. But as always, guys, thanks for joining us from home. This was Karmic Transmission number 49 coming at you with Rex and Jake Vanderlinden here. As always, if you want to know what Karma Incarnate's about and how you can get involved, check out our website, karmaincarnate.com. Follow us up on all the social medias, Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, Karma Incarnate, or at the Karmic Feed on Twitter. And as always, guys, feel free to reach out and let us know what you think. We'd love to hear from anybody. And, we're always open for lively discussion about anything and everything on this channel.
Amen.
So, all right, Rexy boy, love the hell out of you, man.
Love you too, Jakie. Thank you.
Yep, we'll talk to you later.
Good night.
Night.